Have you ever stopped to think about what the earliest forms of advertising truly looked like? I mean, forget the flashy billboards and digital pop-ups we see everywhere today.
Right.
What if they were far more primal, even sacred cries or symbols carved into stone? It's a surprising thought, really.
It is. And it opens up this fascinating window into, well, human nature itself.
Let's delve into this.
So today we're taking a deep dive into the unexpected and often, frankly, bizarre history of advertising.
Okay.
Our main guide for this journey is Henry Sampson's A History of Advertising from the Earliest Times. Now, Sampson himself, he admitted in his preface that he faced, well, almost insurmountable difficulties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and despite writing over 500 pages, he apparently still had a great quantity of unused material. It's just a vast, vast subject.
It sounds like it. So our mission then, for you, our listener, is to try and extract the most important nuggets from this massive treasure trove. We want to uncover some truly surprising facts and, ultimately show how deeply advertising, in all its forms, really reflects human nature across the centuries.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for some unexpected insights.
Definitely some wild rides ahead.
So we often think of advertising as, a purely modern invention, something tied to mass media, consumerism.
Right. Newspapers, radio, TV, the internet.
Exactly. But its roots stretch back surprisingly far, even to ancient oral traditions, and this is where it gets truly captivating.
Indeed. The very earliest forms were primarily word of mouth, announcements. Take the ancient Hebrews, for example.
Okay.
Their word kara meant to cry aloud and make known publicly, but often for sacred matters like religious announcements.
So kind of like a public service announcement almost.
You could think of it that way, yeah. Then the Greeks had their charax, the public crier.
Ah, the town crier stereotype.
Pretty much. They handled everything from state announcements to, sales of goods in the marketplace. Hear you, hear you.
So from these public pronouncements, the Romans really took the concept a step further, didn't they? They integrated written announcements directly into daily life.
Absolutely. They used libelli, which were essentially public notices or bills, little posters almost.
Big belly.
And these were affixed to pillars, advertising everything imaginable. Sales of entire estates, lost household items.
Wow, so really practical stuff.
Totally. And if you visit Pompeii today, you can still see vivid examples right there on the walls.
No way. Like what?
Public notices for, say, bath dedications promising slaughter of wild beasts, athletic games, perfumed sprinkling, and awnings to keep off the sun. Quite the event.
Sounds like a party.
And of course, ads for gladiatorial combat, you'd see things like Adelis, Familia, Gladiatoria, Pugnabit.
Meaning?
Basically, the Aediles gladiator family will fight. Gets right to the point.
Okay, so beyond just written signs, physical tokens became increasingly important too. Like, if you were a thirsty Roman walking through the streets, how would you know where to get a good pint or find a specific craftsman?
Right, exactly. That's where pictorial signs came in. Early innkeepers, for instance, would hang out distinctive symbols. Think red lions and green dragons to signal food and shelter.
The classic pub sign origin.
Pretty much. And for specific trades, simple images were enough. A knife for a cutler, grapes for a vintner, easy visual cues.
Makes sense.
But as competition grew, shops needed more distinctive names or tokens to stand out.
So branding starts early.
Very early. And when widespread literacy wasn't common, people even used rebuses for names.
Rebuses, like picture puzzles.
Exactly. So a drawing of a hare in a bottle could represent the name hair bottle or two cocks for cocks.
That's clever.
It had to be. And to create these unique signs, the source says they put under contribution. Basically, they borrowed ideas from everything, the animal kingdom, the vegetable kingdom, even portraits of great men and articles of dress, anything to be memorable.
Moving forward then into the era of printing. It's fascinating to realize that what we'd call the first, maybe dependable advertisement in our modern sense wasn't published until the mid-17th century.
Yeah, quite late, relatively speaking.
So what was advertising like when it first hit the presses? Must have been pretty basic.
Oh, it was a very different landscape. Early English provincial newspapers like the Norwich Postman from 1706. Quite humble.
How humble are we talking?
Well, it sold for a penny, but the paper quaintly noted a halfpenny would not be refused.
Can't argue with that.
Right. Other towns like York, Leeds, Manchester, Oxford, they followed suit. But these papers really only started to flourish when advertising became a commercial venture, helping to actually fund their publication.
That makes sense. But this brings up an important point. When did advertisers, or maybe the people placing these ads, realize it wasn't just about reaching everyone, but specifically reaching the right people?
Ah, that was the crucial insight, though it took time to sink in. The idea that the essence of advertising is to place your statement where it is most likely to be seen by those most interested in it.
Targeted marketing, basically.
Exactly. Think about it. A newspaper with a tiny readership might actually be more valuable for, say, peculiar wares or wants than one with the largest circulation in the world if that huge circulation didn't reach the people who'd actually buy that peculiar thing.
Right, niche audiences.
But interestingly, the source notes that the general public often ignored this argument of the true expert. They just wanted big numbers, even if it wasn't effective.
Some things never change, huh?
Seems not.
And before we had professional advertising agencies, we had the bill sticker. What was their deal? Were they as annoying back then as, say, some modern pop-ups fueled today?
Oh, arguably even more so. The early bill sticker was widely described as an intolerable nuisance.
Intolerable nuisance. Strong words.
They completely ignored no beware signs, apparently.
Yeah.
Brazenly covering the privacy of dead walls or dwelling houses and street doors, just slapped posters everywhere.
Oh, man.
And there was even this weird point of honor among them to paste over rivals' work. So hoardings just became heterogeneous, a total jumble of ripped, overlapping posters.
Yeah.
Complete chaos. And the artful bill sticker would famously strike early on Sunday mornings.
Why Sunday mornings?
To evade detection, apparently, and deface the work of those who had gone before him under the cover of, well, piety, I guess.
Sneaky?
Very. It wasn't until established contractors like Willing and Partington came along that any kind of positive publicity, meaning reliable, managed posting, could actually be depended upon. They brought some order to it.
It's clear these early print advertisements aren't just about selling stuff. They offer these incredible snapshots into daily life, social norms, even the anxieties of the time.
They absolutely do. They're like little time capsules.
So what's one of the most striking things these ads reveal about the past world?
Well, take public health, for instance.
Wow.
Smallpox.
Oh, right. Nasty disease.
Hugely prevalent. Ads for absconding servants frequently describe them as pockmarked, pock-pitted, or full of pockholes.
Wow, that's specific.
Yeah. It's estimated that maybe a quarter of mankind at the time was pockmarked. Think about that. With whole features destroyed sometimes and a high percentage of blindness attributed to it.
That's staggering.
Yeah, it was so common that even prominent figures like Louis XIV and his mistress Lavalière, who were both affected, well, the source says it does not appear to have been considered an absolute drawback to their appearance.
Just accepted as normal. Incredible.
Yeah.
So these mundane classifieds, they're actually a vital record.
Exactly, an unfiltered barometer of public health and societal acceptance hidden in plain sight.
That's a powerful insight. And even royalty used these ads for personal matters, right? Like finding lost pets. I love that detail.
It's charming, isn't it? King Charles II was constantly advertising for his lost dogs.
Really? What kind of dogs?
You'd find notices for things like a little brindled greyhound bitch having her two hinder feet white, or a black mastiff dog with cropped ears and cut tail. Very specific descriptions.
He clearly loves his dog.
Oh, yeah. Samuel Pepys, the famous diarist, even described the king walking around with a train of spaniels and other dogs at his heels.
Ah, that's a great image.
It really connects to that universal grief of a lost pet, doesn't it? Even for a king.
Totally. Now, this raises a curious point. You had these two massive historical events in London.
Yeah.
The Great Plague and the Great Fire.
Huge upheavals, 1665 and 1666.
Right. But apparently they didn't spur much advertising. That seems counterintuitive.
It's quite striking, actually. Despite the Great Fire destroying something like 13,000 houses, making countless people homeless, and businesses needing to relocate.
You'd expect a flood of ads saying, "We've moved," or "Still open for business."
Exactly. But there's a paucity of advertisements regarding new addresses or resumed businesses. The London Gazette, the official paper, offered its services for such notices, but Sampson notes little regard being paid.
So why not?
It just demonstrates how little the trading community truly understood advertising's utility yet. Even in such times of massive disruption and desperate need for communication, they just hadn't grasped its power.
They didn't see it as a tool for that kind of recovery.
Not really, not yet.
But amidst these events, new products and services were starting to appear in ads, hinting at the future of commerce. What were some of those early things being sold?
Yeah, you start seeing the seeds of consumer culture. Early ads for exotic beverages like tea, Garway's Coffee House advertised it in 1657.
Tea was exotic then.
Oh, incredibly. It initially sold for an astonishing £6 to £10 a pound.
Per pound.
Yep. It was only used as a regalia in high treatments, basically for royalty and the super rich, before the price eventually dropped to a still expensive 16 to 50 shillings a pound.
Wow. What else?
Ads for chocolate and coffee houses were popping up too, signaling these shifts in taste.
The rise of the cafe.
Exactly. And then you have the stagecoach advertisements,
Ah, early travel ads.
detailing routes from places like the Georgian, Holborn Bridge, to distant cities like Exeter, even Newcastle, complete with prices.
Must have been quite the journey.
And the ads implicitly revealed the need for guides. Were notoriously poor, muddy, rutted, dangerous sometimes.
Right. Traveling wasn't easy. These ads also reveal the informal job market of the time, don't they? Painting a vivid picture.
For sure. In Houghton's collection, which was a significant periodical back then,
What kind of jobs?
you'd find a brewer needing an apprentice, a suitable gentleman needing a housekeeper, a gardener guaranteeing purely good fruit trees.
Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, but what's notable is Houghton's transparency sometimes. He'd often include phrases like, I believe, or I have known him, I believe, this 20 years, adding a personal recommendation.
That's interesting, like an early LinkedIn endorsement.
Sort of. And then there's the more peculiar stuff, like an ad seeking a Negro man that is a good house carpenter and a good shoemaker.
Yeah, that definitely stands out.
It's jarring to our modern sensibilities, for sure, but it offers this raw glimpse into the complex social fabric and labor needs of the period, including the realities of slavery and servitude.
A stark reminder. So as we move into the 18th century, advertising really starts to get, well, a lot more colorful and sometimes outright deceptive.
It certainly exploded. The gloves came off, you might say.
What kind of strange uses did people find for this new medium then?
Well, it wasn't just for commerce. Ads were sometimes used to express sentiments in a veiled manner or to call attention to public grievances.
Like coded messages.
Sometimes. Seen in papers like Heraclitus Ridens during the chaotic period of the Popish plots, a time of intense political and religious suspicion in England.
So, political commentary disguised as ads.
Essentially, there are even things called orange cards depicting political events, like one showing Dr. Oates whipping. Basically political cartoons disseminated through advertising channels.
Wow. And Dr. Johnson himself, the famous dictionary guy, he weighed in on the art of advertising, didn't he?
He did. Dr. Johnson, ever the astute observer of human nature, he remarked. Let me see. Ah, yes. The man who first took advantage of the general curiosity that was excited by a siege or battle to betray the readers of news into the knowledge of the shop where the best puffs and powder were to be sold.
Oh, okay. So using news to sell stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Johnson said that man was undoubtedly a man of great sagacity and profound skill in the nature of man. He recognized the power of leveraging public attention, even hijacking it.
And that sagacity, that skill, it quickly led to some pretty outrageous claims, didn't it? Especially in the booming world of patent medicines and quack cures.
Oh, the audacity is incredible. The claims were truly wild.
Like what? Give us an example.
Okay, 1707. G. Wildest and T. Brandreth advertised a microscope that magnified more than 2 million times.
2 million. Con.
And a concave metal that united the sunbeams so vigorously that in a minute's time it melted steel.
The pure fantasy.
Just making stuff up. Pretty much. Then you had Samuel Major's Imperial Snuff in 1749, claiming to cure all disorders of body and mind.
Snuff. For everything.
Apparently. And my personal favorite might be Mr. Peyton's in 1771.
What did you do?
He was both a dentist and dancing master.
A dentist and a dancing master. That's a combo.
Right. He advertised he could make artificial teeth and fixing them without the least pain and also teach you the latest cotillions. The boundaries of truth were, shall we say, fluid.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But the ultimate in quackery has to be Dr. Graham's celestial bed. This one sounds almost unbelievable.
Dr. Graham's notorious celestial bed, 1775. This was billed as a wonder-working piece of furniture.
Wonder-working how?
It supposedly cost £12,000 to build.
12,000 pounds. In 1775.
Astronomical. And childless couples desperate to conceive could pay £100 per night.
£100 a night.
For the experience. Which was accompanied by, get this, celestial fire, cherishing vapors, and oriental perfumes.
Wow. Just wow. Pure theater.
An elaborate setup designed purely to part the wealthy and desperate from their money, preying on a very personal desire.
Beyond these grand scams, though, ads also offered a surprisingly personal way to find love, or at least a potential partner, like an early form of dating app.
They absolutely did function that way sometimes. There are anecdotes of love at first sight ads.
Really?
Yeah, like the gentleman seeking the lady he helped from a boat at Whitehall Stairs, hoping she'd see the ad, or the one who gazed upon her with the utmost attention at Drury Lane Theater and placed an ad hoping to find her again.
Oh, kind of romantic in a stalker-ish way, maybe.
Maybe a bit. Then there's the melancholic one-winged dove ad.
What did that say?
The one-winged dove must die unless the crane returns to be a shield against her enemies.
Oh, deep.
A truly poetic, if desperate, cry for a lost love right there in the newspaper personals.
And actual marriage agencies even popped up, right? Formalizing the search.
Yes, like the Dover Street Marriage Office in 1776, they even reduced their fee from 5 guineas down to 2 and explicitly invited ladies of reputation gratis. Free for the ladies.
Smart business model.
And some ads were quite desperate. There's one from a baronet offering to marry any woman, though with child, or having children by a former husband.
Really? Why?
If she brought a 50-pound lottery ticket because he was hoping to use it to claim a supposed £140,000 prize, a real long shot.
That's just bizarre.
In contrast, you'd also see ads like Count Sarsfield seeking a lady of rank and talents for a suitable alliance. So the full spectrum of motivations for marriage was right there.
And by the 19th century, these matrimonial ads became even more specific, didn't they? Sometimes unintentionally hilarious.
Oh, yeah. The London Journal was a hot spot for these.
Give us some examples.
Okay, you'd find Nellie Vernon, 22, accomplished, rather tall, dark, and considered handsome, seeking a match. Pretty standard.
Okay.
Then there's Queen Adeline, also 22, tall, dark, handsome, with 400 pounds a year.
Nice income for the time.
Right. But she specifically wanted a partner with well-formed and small hands and feet and plenty of money. Very particular.
Those what she wants.
And there's this great story of a young professional man described as handsome, amiable, intelligent, 500 pounds a year, who placed an ad.
How did it go for him?
He apparently received shoals of replies, loads of them. Many were from servant girls with bad spelling and worse grammar.
Oh, dear.
But one very frank one came from a solicitor's daughter who even enclosed a handsome carte de visite, basically an early photo visiting card.
Bold move. They get together.
The source doesn't say, but these ads, they really reveal the societal expectations, the wish list, the personal preferences of the era. Fascinating stuff.
Advertising, unfortunately, has always had its darker side. From early lotteries to elaborate scams, it seems human gullibility is a constant, doesn't it?
That's certainly a recurring theme. Early lotteries, for example, like John Ogilby's book lottery in 1665.
A lottery for books.
Yeah, but it got interrupted by the plague and then the Great Fire, where he lost 2/3 of his stock. Bad luck.
Rough start.
And the prices of lottery tickets were often artfully enhancing, basically sneakily increased, going from £10 up to 16 guineas sometimes.
Despite terrible odds, I bet.
Oh, ridiculous odds, like 69998 to 2 or 3499999 to 1 against a £10,000 prize. People were clearly willing to take huge risks for that tiny chance at a fortune.
Always the way. Now, one of the most famous hoaxes sounds like something straight out of a comedy show, just designed to prove a point about public gullibility.
Ah, you must mean the great bottle trick swindle.
That's the one.
1748-49, apparently the Duke of Montague made a bet about how gullible the public was.
So it was his trick.
An ad promised that a man would jump into a quart bottle on stage.
Into a bottle. Physically impossible.
Totally, but it drew huge crowds. People paid to see it. When, obviously, the trick wasn't performed, it led to a full-blown riot.
A riot over a bottle trick.
Yep. And then this comical blame game erupted between the theater manager, Potter, and the promoter, Foote, about who was responsible for the hoax. It perfectly highlighted how easily people could be swayed by an outrageous promise.
Incredible. Moving to more, maybe modern scams, the promise of home employment seems particularly cruel.
Yeah, these were really nasty scams popular in the 1860s and 70s. They targeted poor, hardworking women mostly.
How did it work?
Women would pay a guinea, a significant sum for a registration fee, materials, and instruction for needlework they could supposedly do at home for pay.
Okay, sounds reasonable so far.
But then they'd either receive totally inadequate materials, making the work impossible, or more often they'd do the work and simply receive no payment at all.
That's awful, preying on vulnerable people.
Exactly. One scammer, a Margaret Delaire, reportedly cashed between 300 and 400 of these guinea postal orders. big business.
Wow.
And then there was that truly bizarre ad promising money for delivering Dawkins, weeds, and rats to a specific address.
Delivering weeds and rats. Why?
Who knows? It just shows how desperation can lead people to believe almost anything. Or maybe it was some kind of coded message itself. Unclear.
But if you wanted a quick doctor's degree, there were ads for that too.
Oh, yes. You could absolutely find ads for promotion in absentia.
Promotion in absence.
Meaning you didn't have to actually study or attend anything. They offered qualified surgeons, chemists, dentists, oculists, chiropodists, and professors of music or arts a doctor's degree for a fee.
So just buying a qualification.
Well, pretty much. It highlights a clear lack of genuine qualification standards and oversight in certain professions back then. Literally a pay-for-play system for credentials.
Unbelievable. Finally, let's touch on the thrilling world of secret messages in public print. Cryptograms in newspaper personal ads. That sounds straight out of a spy novel.
Oh, the cryptograms in the Times. They were quite a thing for a while.
Like what kind of messages?
You'd see things like Cenerentola, followed by a jumble of letters like NPSTBDTC, which apparently was later deciphered by readers as simply, I know you.
All that for I know you.
Seems so. And then there was a famous Flo intrigue in 1853-54.
What was that?
It was actually a burlesque, a parody of a real coded message someone else had placed. It started very dramatically. Flo, thou voice of my heart, how I do love you. Followed by more code.
So people were solving these for fun.
Often, yes. The public got quite good at decoding them, but this public decoding ultimately discouraged people from using them for truly secret communications because, well, they weren't secret anymore.
The wisdom or nosiness of crowds. Okay, looking at all these ads, from the ancient cries to the 19th century scams, you see how much society has changed, obviously. And yet, how much human nature seems to remain the same.
That's a profound observation, I think.
It's fascinating how they reflect everything from our vanity to our deepest fears.
It really is. For instance, the idea that appearance is the chief object was clearly evident even way back then, even in things like job applications. There's an example of an ad for an articled assistant where a Cambridge man was apparently judged primarily on his looks. The source dryly notes that people were often credited by means of lying heads and faces with the qualifications and abilities they do not possess.
Judging a book by its cover still happens.
These ads reveal that enduring human tendency to judge by superficial qualities and also, to present the best, if not always the most accurate, version of oneself.
And some ads were just plain absurd, weren't they? Or hilariously specific. They almost feel like performance art.
Definitely. There was a bootmaker who apparently invented a leather fiddle and a leather German flute.
A leather flute? How would that even work?
I have no idea, but he boasted about them proudly in his ad.
Amazing. What else?
Then there was the actual public bridal invitation from 1803 for Jonathan and Grace Musgrave.
A public wedding invitation in the paper.
Not just an invitation. It announced the wedding would include various races for prizes of different kinds, and amongst others, a saddle and bridle and a silver-tipped hunting horn for hounds to run for.
So the wedding included hound racing.
Apparently. It wasn't just a wedding, it was a full-blown public festival advertised for all to attend.
That's commitment to something.
And for a bit of humor, there was even a popular drinking song written for Lamplau's Pyretic Saline, a health salt. Shows how products could really embed themselves in the culture.
My favorite, I have to say, digging through these examples, is the 19th century Burial Society ad. It's just morbidly fascinating.
Oh, that one is brilliant, isn't it? It shows such a specific kind of consumer desire.
Tell us about it. What did it promise?
It promised a genteel manor, interment, a respectable funeral, for just 1 shilling entrance and 2p per week. Very affordable.
Okay, but what did you get for your 2p?
The details. It meticulously listed the provisions. A strong elm coffin covered with superfine black, with 2 rows all round, close drove, best black japanned nails, an angel above and flower beneath motif on the lid.
Wow, very specific coffin details.
Oh, it goes on. A handsome crepe shroud, a velvet pall to cover the coffin, 3 gentlemen's cloaks for the mourners, and importantly, burial fees paid.
They thought of everything.
They really did. It highlighted this deep desire, even among those with modest means, for a good funeral, a proper send-off, a final display of respectability. It's this unique intersection of commerce, social custom, and fear of an undignified end.
Absolutely fascinating. Local characters also used ads in very personal ways,
Yeah.
right? Reflecting their multi-talented, if sometimes chaotic lives.
Totally.
Jacks of all trades.
Oh, absolutely. There are some wonderful examples, like the cobbler, spelled C-O-B-L-A-R, so a cobbler,
Yeah.
who advertised that he also dealt in bacco shag and pigtail, tobacco, bacon and gingerbread, sold good tea and crumpets and strawberry with the sim milk, tea, crumpets, strawberries, skim milk, and mended shoes and boots.
So shoes, tobacco, snacks, and dairy. Busy guy.
A real entrepreneur. Or James Williams, who listed his professions as parish clerk, Saxstone town crier, and bellman.
Okay, several official roles.
But wait, there's more. He also sold groceries, dressed hair, taught reading, writing, and arithmetic, and singing, played the oboe, performed bloodletting, drew teeth, and even shoed horses.
Good grief, he did everything.
Pretty much. These ads give us this amazing glimpse into the bustling, sometimes disorganized daily economy and the sheer hustle of individuals just trying to make a living any way they could.
Incredible versatility.
Yeah.
And don't forget the international flair. Advertising wasn't just limited to Britain, obviously.
That's right. Samson includes examples from elsewhere, too, like the American dead pig ad placed in Broadway, New York.
A dead pig ad.
Yeah, it bizarrely promised the pig would somehow grow bigger and bigger after its death. Pure Barnum-esque hype.
Okay, that's weird.
Or the Riga Balsam ad claiming it could cure a ram even after a nail had been hammered through its skull.
Yikes. Plausible.
And Captain Symes's Hollow Earth theory, advertised in 1818, trying to raise funds for an expedition to the North Pole to enter the Earth's core.
Through advertising. Amazing. These are testament to the boundless creativity and sometimes sheer absurdity of early advertisers globally. Definitely. And the relationship between advertising and journalism also developed in interesting ways, didn't it? Blurring lines that we now try, sometimes unsuccessfully, to keep distinct.
Yes, the source talks about the French concept of réclame.
Réclame.
It showed how art, even genius, may be successfully applied to such a very small pursuit as that of advertising. It was about subtle promotion, sometimes woven into editorial content.
Like early native advertising or paid content.
Exactly. A great example is Mrs. Cornelius of Carlisle House, Soho, back in 1763. She ran these lavish masked balls,
Right.
and she apparently used news paragraphs, little mentions in the society pages, as judicious puffery for her events, making them seem like genuine news items rather than paid plugs.
Very clever.
And then there were the sort of forced celebrity endorsements, like the actor Matthews.
What had happened to him?
He was apparently inundated with presents, snuff, boot polish, even a dentist offering him new teeth, all in the hope that he'd mention these products or services during his performances.
Wow, so early influencer marketing.
You could definitely call it that. It shows that early recognition of the power of influence and reputation in selling things.
We've certainly journeyed through centuries of advertising here. From those simple cries in ancient streets to elaborate swindles and heartfelt pleas in early newspapers. It's truly amazing how little human nature really changes, isn't it?
It really is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, advertising in all its forms, good and bad, truthful and deceptive, it serves as this invaluable, unfiltered historical record.
How so?
Well, it shows us not just what people bought or tried to sell, but what they valued, what they feared, what they dreamed of, and fundamentally how they communicated those things.
It really is like a mirror held up to society, isn't it? Reflecting our desires, our gullibility, our anxieties, and our ingenuity right across time.
Perfectly put. It's all there if you look closely enough. Which I think raises an important question for you, our listener, to ponder.
Okay.
Given all we've uncovered about the weirdness and wonder of past advertising, what do you think a historian 200 years from now will find most peculiar, or perhaps most revealing, about the advertisements of our time?